another review on Nitro Arrows RC. Today we have the Arrows RC Corsair 1100mm wingspan, 40 amp ESC, runs on a 3S LiPo, and it is a lovely looking plane, isn't it? It looks absolutely pucker, and I bet you're thinking, wow, you know, really nice plane. Yeah, it is. Easy to put together. Got out of the box, wing on, wings in one piece. You've got landing lights, port and starboard lights. You've got, you know, plastic antennas and stuff that you stick on, and bits and pieces. You've got detachable like fuel tank bomb things. The retracts twist and go in, you know, really scale, really realistic. And, you know, to look at, it's an absolutely pucker bit of kit. But put it together, got it out of the box, put it all together, took it out the flying field for its maiden. Got it up in the air, trimmed it all out, was fine. Was running the 2200 3S LiPo in there, which to be honest is a bit light for it. You want something kind of 2500 upwards. I've modified this to take 4S now anyway, so as far as 3S goes, it's no concern. But obviously when you get this out of the box, it runs on 3S. The ESC, the standard ESC in there will take a 4S LiPo. But obviously with the prop, the prop that you get out of the box, it's like a four-bladed FMS prop that you get like out of like the Dynam Spitfires and stuff, same size, and it's too small. It looks silly on the plane anyway. But yeah, 3S setup as you get it out of the box. You know, it's got enough power to kind of zoom about and stuff, which is good. But as I say, I've replaced the ESC. It's got a 70 amp red brick in there now from Hobby King. I've trimmed the front cowling out, so obviously I'll get more airflow through there up into the ESC. The ESC sits up there. This just obviously needs tidying up a bit. But yeah, anyway, so took it up on its maiden and got it up, trimmed it out, and it was flying really, I mean, the roll rate was fine. You know, it was rolling lovely, and you could do lovely barrel rolls and really nice scale rolls with it and stuff. But the elevator was like sticking. So when you kind of push down on the nose, it was holding it down. And when you was pulling up, it was, you know, really sloppy. And it was, it was flying really funny. So landed it, checked the, obviously check the control surface over, and what I noticed was when you was doing obviously small increments on the transmitter, the servo was moving, but the tail wasn't, and it would kind of get to a point where it would get enough power behind the servo and then kind of kick. So you wasn't getting nice, smooth, you know, movement in the control surface. It was really juddery. So I got it home, put it on the bench, took the had a look at the servo. Servo was fine. And what it actually was is the linkages from the servo to the elevator, they were really stiff. And it's got like long metal push rods inside plastic tubes. So what I've done is I put a bit of lubrication on the push rods, you know, moved it about a bit, thought, you know, it's a new plane, probably a bit stiff, you know, out of the box and whatever. Tried everything, won't make no difference. It was still doing it. I put a bigger servo in there so it would have a bit more power behind it. No difference at all. So in the end, I'd done away with all the linkages. I got rid of them. And what I'd done was I put two servos in the fuselage at the back there, one either side. And it's just completely transformed the plane. It flies absolutely pucker now. You know, as I say, for like landing and stuff, because it was getting stuck, you know, you couldn't get a nice smooth landing, because as you was coming in, you needed to pitch the nose up a bit. It was kind of nothing, then everything, and up it would go. So, I mean, you know, one of those niggly little problems. But again, I mean, I don't know whether it was just this one was a bad one or whether it's a common thing across all of them. Obviously, if you've had the same sort of problem, you know, leave a comment and whatever. But I mean, other than that, it's absolutely pucker. I mean, it's a solid plane. The wing is solid. It's not like, you know, wafty or bendy or anything. It's built really well. And again, after that modification to obviously the elevators and that, it's completely transformed it. I've got an aftermarket prop nut on there because I'm putting a different prop on there because, as I said, the original one is just a bit too small. And, you know, that's obviously just to give me a bit more punch through the air. We'll just take the canopy off it. Canopy comes off, you know, fits on there really nice. You've got a nice big tab at the front. You know, I mean, as I say, lovely scale detail, and the finish on this is absolutely lovely. It's got like a little tab here that clips down into the fuselage there. If we take a look inside, obviously that would be where the other servo is for the linkages. It's only got 2 servos in there, so the metal linkages would come out where them servos are. So you'd have one either side to obviously do both elevators. But again, because obviously they were getting stuck, they weren't pitching equally. One was raising more than the other. So again, I've put them 2 servos in to obviously try to solve that problem, and it's done it perfectly. They raise together now, and that's brilliant. What I did try and do is when I put that other bigger servo in, I got rid of one of the linkages, left one of them in, so it would run down and do the one elevator, and then I put like a metal spar thing between the 2 to obviously hold it so that they would move equally. It did work, but what was happening was this one was flopping about a bit because of obviously the bend in the bit of metal there. And I wasn't quite happy with that, because I thought if you did take, because obviously I'm running this on 4S now, it is moving a lot quicker. I wanted them to be, you know, solid so that it wouldn't have a chance of like breaking off or, you know, losing control of it. But yeah, inside the plane, obviously you've got the ESC, which sits up right at the front there. Down in here, you've got like a junction box there. You can just see that, again, makes it easier for obviously your transmitter to plug into the plane itself. The power from the lights runs off of that box as well. So again, to put together and actually get it ready to fly is easy. You know, you literally bolt the wing on, glue them 2 bits of tail together, and away it goes. The battery sits down in there. It has like a little plastic battery tray, which, to be honest, is a really good system. You strap the battery in there, pop that back down in there, and away you go. Obviously, for adjusting the battery position for obviously the CG, you can't really do that because, again, this tray slides in and slots in, and that's as far as it goes. Obviously, you can move the battery up and down this a little bit, but because obviously the battery sits down at an angle, you're not getting, you know, the shifting of the weight back. You're kind of just, all you're doing is shifting it up. So again, a heavier battery does help to make this fly a lot nicer. And obviously with the 4S, because of that extra weight, it flies fine. You know, the 3S flies fine with it as well. But the 2200 is a bit light. You want something like a 2900 or like a 2500 battery, and that'll obviously give you that little bit more weight. And help it fly a lot nicer anyway. It's got flaps, not got full flaps. It's just got these little split tabs here. They work fine. The aileron control surfaces, I haven't had any problems with them at all. They've all been okay. And again, you know, the build on the actual quality of the foam and the way it's all built is absolutely brilliant. It's solid. And again, you know, it was just obviously that problem with the elevators linkages. That was all. One other thing, if I tip this up like that, when I was taxiing around, I noticed it was snaking across the floor a bit. Kind of got it back, thought, well, what's that? This tail wheel has lots and lots of play in there. I mean, as you can see, the rudder doesn't move when you're doing that. It's got a steerable tail wheel to obviously taxi. Once you kind of slow down and crawl along the floor, it works all right. But it's just another little thing that's just a bit of a pain. Again, don't know whether it's just this model or whether they're all like that. But obviously I found it quite annoying. Went to take it off to obviously see if I could tighten anything up. You can't get in there. It's all kind of sealed in anyway. So until it falls off, I'll just leave it as it is really. It still steers and stuff, so that's okay. But yeah, so that's the Arrows Corsair. You know, fabulous looking plane. I'll get some nice flight footage of this at some point when I can get out. I've got to do some more on the Viper anyway. But yeah, lovely. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.